are now live. So around the bend, BTCC fan group with myself, Bart, and of course up in Bonnie, Scotland, Sean.
Hello.
See, the intro and outro is always short with him. And joining us a very, very special guest tonight, BTCC new entry, Max Coates. So how are you, Max?
I'm very well, thanks.
Hold on, I've got a sound machine here to.
Oh, yes, he has to do an intro every single.
There you go. Can you hear that?
There we go. That's good skill.
Sorry, that was cheating.
I could say some things there, but I won't. Yeah. So Max, how are you finding it? First time out in the car. You know, you must be really excited. I know everybody's trying to clamber for your time and interview at the moment. How is it actually being a part of the BTCC?
It's fantastic. It's very different to anything I've been used to in the past in terms of sort of my experience in the support paddock. And now that I've kind of made my arrival on the BTCC scene, it's just been crazy, if I'm honest. It's been a bit of a mental 2 weeks.
How did you find out that you were actually involved in the? When did you get the call to step up into the main event?
Monday last week.
Wow!
Oh wow, not long then.
So I knew Monday night at about 5 or 6 o'clock, and then.
Is this a season-wide? Is this a season-wide thing then? So are they looking at you long term as going forward for the next 2-3 seasons? Have they discussed that with you as yet?
Yeah, I'm signed for the rest of this year and have the option to continue for next year, as long as I want to continue, basically. So that's kind of the long-term plan, and but for now, I just kind of want to focus on the rest of this year, trying to get the car to a point where we can move forward.
You say you're getting the car where you can move forward. I know we were just before we actually managed to get the actual hangout working. We were just chatting about some of the times that you've actually managed to make progress with the car already. Do you feel that progress is going to keep coming, or do you think there'll just be one magic bit of setup, or does it really, as you get to grips with the car at one circuit, no sooner you do that, the 3 races are over and you're on to the next track?
I honestly don't know. I'd like to say that we're going to find we're going to have a breakthrough at a test and then suddenly be running a lot further up than we are doing at the moment. But I really think it will be a case of we find something that generally works and solves a couple of the issues that myself and Derek are currently feeling, and that will move us a long way up. And then it'll be about finding sort of smaller things that can take us further towards the front.
Is there much difference in the other formulas and series that you've raced in? What's different about? I mean, evidently, getting your driving experience from there. How different is it to step up into that BTCC car? Because I mean, I should imagine really that it's a lot more intense event. All the build up with the live TV and everything else. I mean, what goes through your mind when you sat in the car?
I mean, I think the sort of the differences from the Ginetta and the Porsche, in comparison to the Porsche, it's obviously a front-engine car, which makes a big difference for weight distribution and how you actually drive it technically. And secondly, it's a lot heavier. So not only have you got more car to stop, you've got more car to get through a corner and more car to get up to the speed that you want to do. So in all respects, it's more difficult to do everything, and yeah, from that respect, that's what makes it more difficult. But in terms of a race weekend, I'm used to having 2, maybe 3 races split over a weekend, and at Croft I had 3 races in 5 and a bit hours. So, that's quite a difference to get used to mentally and physically. And now I'm used to having a lot of time between races and being able to talk to people and everyone that wants to talk to you. But I'm kind of get out of the car and I'm whisked away into a debrief and then talk to some sponsors or a guest, and then 10 minutes out the front talking to some people who want to see me and do them kinds of bits, and then it's right, go and get your helmet on and go again. So there's not a lot of time in a touring car driver's afternoon.
How did you fare in the races? Because we didn't see a lot of you on the ITV camera as well. I didn't in particular.
Yeah, the first race wasn't my most amazing start. I obviously started fairly far towards the back as well. And to be honest, the first race I just wanted to get into it and come out unscathed, really. So that was kind of the plan, and that was a success. So I followed.
Because you finished ahead of your teammate as well.
Just managed to finish ahead of Derek. He got tagged going into turn 2 and had some contact with Stuart Lines. So that's kind of where I passed him and took advantage of that situation. So I did end up in front of Derek, but I think he was potentially slightly quicker in race 1. Race 2 started really well for me, but I got some temperature warnings and alarms on the dash, so I had to pit with that and just make sure everything was okay, which it was. But if I'm honest, I think that gap and that time to just think about things really moved myself on in terms of my driving. So when I went out for the final few laps, I found a lot more pace in the car, because there was absolutely zero pressure. I was already last.
Yeah, you go all for broke.
So I just used the rest of that session to basically try and learn something, try and develop myself or the car, and I did. I found a lot of time on the brakes, and then obviously went into the final race of the weekend on the soft tyres, and set my new best lap of the race, even sort of after sort of 8 or 9 laps. So when the tyre was probably dropped off one of its kind of main peaks. So I was really happy to be able to do that kind of pace, and I think we were 1.9 off the fastest lap in the final race. So that's kind of really positive moving forward.
Yeah, definitely moving forward.
The setup you've got with the team at the moment, then, is the space in that, because evidently with the new team and they're thinking about building it forward, are they actually putting a lot more money into testing? I mean, the month that you've got off now, are you doing a lot of testing in that period?
We've got the official tyre test coming up, and that's what's planned at the moment. To be honest with you, there's been a week before Croft and a day since. So every day up to Croft was all about getting prepared for Croft, and every day since has been about sleeping and recovering. Trying to go through a rafter of media requests and sort of messages. So I've not really had a chance to chat with the team and sort out anything else sort of for the next couple of weeks for testing, but we will be going on the simulator at Cranfield.
Right, okay, so is that the iZone one?
Yeah, Cranfield supply the iZone simulators, I believe.
Yeah, a complete and utterly random link. I was one of the test drivers when they installed that for the university there.
Right. Okay.
so a completely random thing. Yeah, I was one of the first. I was one of the first 4 people ever on that simulator, and it's an amazing facility. I think it's about £2.5 million worth of simulator, so it's real.
I'm looking forward to getting a go on it. I mean, our data engineer Gemma is a student at Cranfield, so we've kind of got used to their facilities to be able to go and test. So
the harnesses that are in it have got, I think the thing that fascinated me, that just blew my mind about it, was in the harnesses they've got 2,000 individual air jets. So when you go over the curb on the game, you actually get, it knows how the harnesses would react to your shoulders, going over the curbs and stuff. So it's very realistic.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic facility. It's amazing. I've had an amazing time there. So coming into the second part of the season then, are your favourite tracks still to come?
In all honesty, they're all my favourite. I've got a bit of a Cross one of my favourites because I can go home and have a shower and a nice night.
I was going to say, that is your home track, Cross.
Yeah, it's the old. Yeah, I can see my house from here. Yeah.
I tend to like Rockingham because there's quite a few people who don't particularly like it. So I think that's a reason to like that. And I've always got a bit of a soft spot for Brands Hatch because I spent a lot of time there as a kid growing up watching World Superbikes. So which is also just a fantastic track to drive.
Sorry, I'm going, and you probably won't see me until...
Oh, would you mind if I just hold for 2 seconds? My brother's about to go away, and I'm not going to see him for a long time.
Okay.
Oh, okay then.
literally.
I tell you what. If you can mute your microphone at your end,
Yeah. Okay.
we'll carry on doing the stuff so we can carry on with the broadcast, Max. And you just
Okay, yeah.
you just mute yourself when you come back in.
All right.
Max Coates, everybody. So we've actually managed to do it. I mean, fair play to the lad. He's superstar, absolute superstar.
A legend. No, a superstar. He's a legend.
Yeah, what gets me about this though is next week on the fan group is going to be on again doing text questions and text answers. So this is going to be a real good opportunity to ask the questions that we haven't thought of or haven't done as yet. So on the BTCC fan group, please get involved around the bends for you. Okay, Sean. Then carrying on, where were we up to before we got interrupted by a driver from the BTCC?
Well, Max said he was going to come back, wasn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we forgot. Where were we at?
We got some other stuff. We got some other stuff on the agenda, mate. So shall we have a look down the list of where we were? Preview then going forward into testing. BMR said they're going to do a lot more testing. It's going to be interesting how Shedden reacts, I think, going forward for the next, the second part of the season. I think Matt Neal may have to go into a sort of supporting Shedden role again, which saddens me because I like Matt Neal. It's going to be a real interesting question going forward with Matt Neal as whether he becomes then the number 2 driver. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but just from Honda's sponsorship potential, if the last couple of seasons, Shedden's been constantly at the front of that title challenge. Whether it's more about the team championships really for Matt Neal now.
Matt's a team player, and
he's a very decent guy, Matt Neal.
Max is back, by the way. Hello, Max.
Hello.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. So.
Oh, it's all right. You might just want to join. We just want to. This is one. Let's get Max Coates in trouble straight away. We were just discussing about Gordon Shedden and Matt Neal. And basically saying that they're playing the team game, most probably put Shedden forward for that, and Matt most probably play more of a supporting role. I mean, from the team orders structure side of things, I mean, does that tend to play a part? Do teams actually think along those lines sort of at this point of the season?
If I'm honest, I have no idea. It's
hopefully a problem you're going to have soon, yeah?
This is the second time I've ever had a teammate in a 15-year career of motorsport.
Right, okay.
Really?
Wow. Third time. So, yeah, everything else that we've done has always been a privateer-led thing. So, it's been quite rare for me to have a teammate to be able to compare off. So, everything I've done, I've either learned myself hands-on through the car, through my dad, or through just going out and trying different things and learning myself. So,
so is it interesting to have telemetry back, for example, and the data you must get back from the cars, and actually having a teammate to compare that with?
Yeah, it's great because I mean, taking an example from the weekend, coming into the complex, I was quicker on the way into there, and Derek was quicker on the way out. So I think I gained 2 tenths on the way in, and he gained 2 tenths on the way out. So you kind of go, well, is there a way that we can gain a 10th on the way in and a 10th on the way out?
Yeah.
Losing either of them 2 tenths, So, but obviously, if it was just my data to look at, we'd have probably never found that. So, what we did find was that we could attack into that corner like I was doing, but get on the power on the way out of it like Derek was, and the grip was there to be able to do it. So, that's kind of a place where we could find, a 10th or 2 tenths by just having that telemetry, and it's very, very handy.